said, and no, I don't mean hot dogs, Joey Chestnut. Tomorrow's your day. Today is all about the NBA. Kevin Connors, Ashley Brewer, what's up, everybody?
Where the Brats and Brews got to be going down right now in Milwaukee, right? Flowing. Trip to the NBA Finals on the line in Atlanta tonight. No freak, all good. Milwaukee was up to the task. They did get Trae Young back, did the Atlanta Hawks. He missed the previous two games with a bone bruise in his foot. Young, a gamer. You wonder if he's got a little Willis Reed magic in him here in Game 6. Again, no Giannis tonight. Young struggled early on, turning it over. Chris Middleton in transition. Young only 3 points in the first quarter, as many points as he had turnovers. Didn't shoot it well. You could tell that injured foot, whether it was fatigue from missing the past couple of games or he just lacked the elevation, he did not have it. Drew Holiday was dominating this game in the second quarter off the turnover. Athletic finish from Holiday to put it up and in. The Bucks led by 6. It was not a terribly inspiring first half from either team. Late 43 at the break. Trae had only 5 points in the first half, but he's the kind of guy that can get it going in the second half. Problem is, he didn't. If you're a Hawks fan, this guy did. Chris Middleton struggled in the first half. 5 points, 5 turnovers, maybe trying to do too much. Third quarter, he did it all. The Hawks were 5 of 19 from behind the arc in the first half, 12 for 26 from behind the arc in the second half. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They simply could not stop him. And then when he was not scoring it himself, he was finding Pat Connaughton for the three. Bucks led by 13. Under 4 to go. Life for the Hawks. They were on a 21-7 run, cut the lead to 6. But the Bucks get it back. Drew Holiday all the way. He had 27. And when Holiday wasn't killing him, Chris Middleton was. Holiday, the alley-oop. Brook Lopez throwing it down off the alley-oop. Lopez, who was so great in Game 5, not as strong in Game 6, but that bucket extended the lead to 10. Minute to go, 7-point game. P.J. Tucker, just his second field goal of the game. It's the three, it's the dagger, it's the end of the road for the Atlanta Hawks, and it's on to the NBA Finals for the Milwaukee Bucks. For the first time since 1974, they're celebrating in Milwaukee. 118-107, Bucks win in 6. Here's the head coach, Mike Budenholzer.
Well, first, just congratulations to Atlanta. Coach McMillan, his players, hell of a season. Amazing. Yeah! It's sweet. These guys have put the work in all year. They deserve to go to the finals. I couldn't be more proud of them. I love coaching them, and we got more work to do.
Yes, the work continues, and the Bucks have not messed around this postseason with a chance to clinch. They're now 6-0 with a chance to wrap up playoff series under Coach Bud. Now, Mike Budenholzer himself now 9-2 in clinch opportunities. That's the second best mark all time, behind only Ty Lue. The Bucks have not won a title since 1971. This will be their first trip to the finals since 1974. Milwaukee fell to the Celtics in 7 games that year, anchored, of course, by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson in the final season of his Hall of Fame career. This finals means so much to both the Bucks and the Suns. No player on either team has ever won an NBA championship. Kevin, that stat is crazy to me. This marks the first NBA Finals where no players have previous rings since all the way back in 1977 when the Blazers played the Sixers. So now the Bucks have an opportunity to get some rings on those fingers. We now welcome in NBA analyst Tim Legler. And I want to start not about the start of the game or the finish of the game. It was about a third quarter by Chris Middleton, something that just was stunning to watch in this game. What did you think about that third quarter performance, Legs?
Yeah, he took over the game. I mean, look, the Milwaukee Bucks understand the pressure that will be associated with a Game 7 at home. And you get that sense Phoenix went through the same thing. It's the last thing you want to experience because the pressure to make shots in that situation can be overwhelming for some guys. So Chris Middleton, I think, sensed that coming out of the locker room in that third quarter. We've seen this from him throughout the last couple of postseasons. He has an explosive scoring ability that's really right up there with anybody else in the NBA when he gets rolling because the mid-range sets up every other aspect of his game, and I just thought he showed great killer instinct in that third quarter. When you look at this matchup, no, Trae Young clearly limited, no Giannis, Well, who's the next most proven offensive commodity in this series? Clearly, it's Chris Middleton. And then the next guy is probably Drew Holiday. And then the next guy after that is probably Brook Lopez. So all of that talent on the part of the Milwaukee Bucks, that's what you're counting on if you're Mike Budenholzer. Somebody has to get hot. Chris Middleton was the most likely guy, and he showed an incredible aggressive instinct in that third quarter to basically end this game.
Yeah, so one player having the game of his life, the other just wasn't able to step up and really be healthy in the most important moment of his life. That's Trae Young. And you mentioned he was limited. He really just did not look 100% at any point in this game. What did you think about his performance and what he tried to do, at least in this game?
I give him a lot of credit for even going out there because the player himself knows more than anybody else what you really feel like when you're warming up before the game. And you know what percentage of yourself you're going to be. And he was just a small fraction of what he normally is. And for me, where I saw it early on, he was so reluctant to pull the trigger on his jump shot because he just didn't know if he had the separation and lift off the dribble. Because if you think about the way Trae Young scores from the perimeter deep, it's typically off the dribble, and it's a lot of step-back threes. Well, to get that step-back three going to your left, which he loves to shoot, that means you're pushing off with that right foot. And you could just see, whenever he would go and get ready to go into that move, and you're thinking he's going to let it fly, he would not want to go ahead and take that shot because he just couldn't get off the ground and he couldn't separate enough from the defender in his own mind to give himself clearance that he could get that shot off. He had some drives, had a couple of floaters, but the Bucks knew he was one-dimensional player. Once you knew that he was not going to be able to do damage from beyond the three-point line and you could just funnel him into the paint the entire game, it just changed everything for Trae Young's night. So you feel terrible for him. The year that he had, the postseason run that he had, to have his season basically end on a fluke injury where he steps on an official's foot, you feel sick for him, really, in this moment. But give him credit. He wanted to gut it out. He did not want to be sitting on the sideline in case this was his team's last game. He went out there. He gave it his all, Ashley, but he just was clearly just nowhere near what they needed him to be offensively. And I think it demoralized them a little bit as a group because they knew he was going to be out there, but he just wasn't the same guy. And as a result, they were ripe for the picking, and Chris Middleton took advantage of that.
Yeah, so much respect for him for really putting everything out there. Hockey tough, playing injured in the finals, you know what I mean? But just a great performance. This team has so much to be positive of. Legs, we'll talk to you a little bit later, but I do want to get to that and what this team has to look forward to because one team has to move on and the other going home. Plenty for this Hawks team to really be excited about. They made a coaching change with Nate McMillan halfway through, and they earned the 5 seed in the East. Then, after beating the Knicks and Sixers, they became just the 4th team in the past 40 seasons to make the Eastern Conference Finals with a midseason coaching replacement. So a lot to be excited about down in Atlanta.
Surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah, State Farm is there, and so was Chris Middleton. Welcome back to SportsCenter. Ashley, Kevin here with you. First quarter, watch Chris kick it out to Bobby Portis. Brook Lopez, hello, coming through. That alley-oop slam. I mean, that dude's starting to come to life. So good. Watch it again. Yep, right on the money. Love it. Hey, right now the guys are talking after the game. Here's Nate McMillan. It's new on SportsCenter.
It's just a resilient group. You know, they've been doing this all season long, and, you know, I want to, thank the organization, Tony, Jamie, and Travis for the opportunity to work with this group. They've been a great group all season long. You know, it was a huge challenge for them once, Coach Pierce was let go. And I challenged those guys to be better, to do better, to sacrifice, to commit to each other, and they did. It just shows that when you get a group of guys just working together for the same common goal, they have talent. Every NBA team has talent. You can win games. And what they did this season it wasn't luck, wasn't involved. It was hard work. It was sacrificing. It was committing to each other. It was trusting each other. and the effort was there every single night. And they played themselves into the Eastern Conference Finals, with a chance to go to the finals. But Milwaukee is a really good team. They're a really good team. I know they was missing Giannis, but that team was on a mission. They've been on a mission for the last couple of years. Every time we tried to make a run tonight, they answered. And they just, Bud and his crew really just did a solid job in this series. I thank them. I thank them for committing. I thank them for sacrificing. I thank them for trusting and believing. Because none of this would have happened if we didn't do all of those things. And they did. They sacrificed. They committed. They believed in what we were trying to do here, the changes that we were trying to make. Taking that next step. Committing to each other, playing the game the right way, playing the game together. And all of those guys did that. We had a ton of injuries this season, and guys like Solomon and Tony Snell, Brandon, they all stepped in when they got their opportunity and made the most of it. And then you have Clint and Kevin and Bogey. Cam comes back from an injury and gives us a lift. Trey just, I've seen a lot of growth in this team, in Trey leading this team. And as I, told him, this wasn't a fluke. This wasn't luck. He's built for this time of the season, and he did a hell of a job leading his team here.
All right, a lot to be proud of, as we spoke on earlier. And one of the biggest and breakout storylines of this postseason, Trae Young. He finished with 8 30-point efforts this postseason. That's tied with LeBron James for the most for a player 22 or younger in a single postseason. How about that, company? The only guy with more was actually Amari Stoudemire, who had 11 with the Suns back in 2000.
Well, they had the pack, sure, but 1982, the last time the Brewers played for a title. And you just heard the man, 1974, the last time the Bucks played for a title. Here's their road to the NBA Finals. Got off to a strong start against the Heat, beating Miami by an average of 20.5 points per game. They outscored the Heat by 82 points over the course of the series. Giannis and company appeared as if they would be on a mission. Conference semifinals, they got the Brooklyn Nets, and boy, you knew that would be a tall order even with all the injuries. Down 0-2 in the series, they forced that dramatic Game 7. Kevin Durant's incredible shot there to force overtime. Giannis able to will Milwaukee to victory in that Game 6, 30 points, 10 rebounds in 6 of the 7 games. They beat the Nets, advance to the conference finals, and then against the Hawks, they would be forced to overcome adversity. Giannis, that scary hyperextension of the left knee in Game 4. Brook Lopez stepped it up in Game 5. He exploded for 33 points, 7 rebounds, and then the third quarter tonight in Game 6, Chris Middleton, electric. They'll get the Suns in Game 1 Tuesday on ABC. Mike Budenholzer off the Popovich tree and to the NBA Finals.
What a roller coaster of emotions, especially this series, but, the series before and opening with Miami and, how good they are. And so just impressed with the resilience of the group, the character of the group. They have a focus and an edge that's put us in a good place, put us in an opportunity to keep playing. And so you got to deal with all those emotions, all the, everything that goes into each round. And this group has been able to do that. It's impressive, but, we got more to do. Every team's got a different journey. Every team's got to go through different things. Certainly, anytime you lose, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to look. You got to reflect. and try and get better. And so I think just like every team in the league, when this group hasn't been able to advance, hasn't been able to continue, it's hurt. It's been hard. And the offseason, the guys that put the work in, the players that put the work in, and I'm impressed with what they've done really every year. But coming into this year, but there's still more to be done.
Still more to be done, and it begins on Tuesday, Game 1 in Phoenix. When the Bucks have had the chance, they have closed the door. 3-0 with the opportunity to clinch a playoff series this postseason. Mike Budenholzer's won 9 straight clinching opportunities dating back to his days in Atlanta. The only streak longer in NBA postseason history held by Phil Jackson. Not bad. Young in Game 6, 4 of 17, 14 points. Here's the Hawks star after the Game 6 defeat.
This is the beginning. We've accomplished so much in this year, but just the guys in the locker room, the young guys, we all understand that this is just the beginning. And I mean, it's fun. We have the city excited, and we want to keep it this way.
What do you feel like you personally improved after this postseason?
I mean, all I wanted to prove coming into the season was that I can win. I remember Sarah asking me that before the season started, and I just remember telling her that I didn't care about no individual things, accolades, anything else. I just cared about winning, and I think hopefully people have a different mindset when they look at me in that type of light.
Sarah? On that note of winning, going from starting out 14-20 to now battling in the Eastern Conference Finals, just what does this say about this team's, intangibles as well? Like, you spoke about the building blocks, but also that resiliency.
Just that we have the pieces. Like we got the talent. We got guys that you see we can do it, and you see the flashes that we can do it. It's hard. This shit is hard as hell, and it's not easy. They've been here multiple times before and haven't been able to take that next step. And I think for us, being able to go through this for a first time early, it's really good for me.
I don't know. This is the first time I've been in this position. I've been so blessed over the last couple of years with everything going on to be able to land in a spot like this to fulfill my dream. So God's blessed me and put me in the position just to go to the finals. So I'm still trying to let it. It's still sinking in, and I'm trying to come down. But it's I don't know, man. Words can't really describe it right now. I think they were being aggressive and staying consistent. We went up early, we went up big, but they stayed consistent. They stayed with their game plan and kind of really got back into it. But our bench and everybody did a great job of keeping our composure. Me and Chris were turning that thing over, weren't we? But yeah, but at the end of the day, Chris carried us. Chris carried us there for a lot of it, just leaving his heart out there. It's kind of like if we're going to go down, we're going to go down in his shoulder. So I'm riding with him, riding right into the finals.
Yes, they are. The Bucks have not been messing around this postseason when they have a chance to clinch. They're now 6-0 with a chance to wrap up a playoff series under Coach Bud. Mike Budenholzer himself, 9-2 in clinch opportunities. That's the second best mark all time, only behind Coach Ty Lue. And the Bucks have not won a title since 1971. This is going to be their first trip to the finals since 74, when Milwaukee fell to the Celtics in 7 games. Of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson in that final. And Robertson was in the final season of his Hall of Fame career. The finals mean so much to these two teams because, get this, I can't believe this stat. No player on either the Bucks or Suns has ever won an NBA championship. So this will mark the first NBA Finals where no players have previous rings